Let's go to the 60.
Welcome on to this episode of Hanging Out with Temi. I've got Deborah Dinkinson. Yeah. Hallelujah, we say. And we got our prof, the only prof on that we have around us. We're privileged to have her too. Welcome everybody and happy new week. You can tell I'm well now. I've been very crooked.
Yeah.
And I'm the one that don't get sick almost at all. So when I got sick, I calmed down very well, and I feel for people that are sick even more. I don't take it for granted. When someone says they got flu could be very, very nasty. It's not even a joke. I lost my appetite, and they said it wasn't COVID, it was some strain of flu. I had all sort of things, tired. I think I said to Deborah, Deborah, I think I felt like I had a depression, a transient depression. That's how I felt. And it's not that I want to do something because I want to do something, but I just felt flat and I felt very disabled. I couldn't do, I'm just looking. I had an episode of transient depression. I could say I know how it feels to just be very flat generally. Yeah. But anyway, it's been an amazing season and welcome everybody. By the way, I was hanging out with Prof over the weekend. We had the women gathering that was powerful. And this gathering, one thing I just want to say is when you see people, don't you assume you know them. Don't you assume at all. This lady, she was so inconsequential. Is somebody that you're not going to notice. Every time I see her, she's in tracksuit, she's cleaning, she's doing something, like I've never seen her dress up, not a day. And the day she told me that I really want you to be somewhere you will like it, immediately my mind says, yes, this is me. My default position is no, because I don't want to disappoint you. I don't want not to turn up. I hate it to disappoint people. So I will first of all say no. But I said yes to this girl. I put it in my diary and I've been invited. I think I must have invited you, even Deborah. I invited Prof. And I said, Prof, there's something about this girl. Just come, please. You will not be disappointed. We got there, guys. The decor, the taste, the level of sophistication. I'm like, what the? And the speaker she brought, I can't believe it. A lady paid a flight from America to come for this conference that was just around the corner to me that I would have rejected or ignored. Somebody bought a ticket from America for that conference just to speak for an hour or two. Amazing. So my story is, ladies, if just listen to yourself, if any of the lady invites you for something, pray about it, sit, don't just discard it, because you have no idea what you will encounter in a room where 70 plus ladies sat. Powerful ladies, by the way. There's Australia model, there's this entrepreneur, there's professors and doctors and moms and all these businesses everywhere in that room. I'm very grateful I went, and thank you, Prof, for coming with me and dressing me up. I looked like somebody. I looked even really good. I felt good because I was wearing.
You look regal.
I was wearing La Guapa. Deborah,
Well, you always look regal, but I just complimenting the event as well. It was called Rooted to Rise. And the focus was on women and the suit that you have in you. Absolutely. But also the discussions, the empowerment. There is something that sometimes you need to sit back and watch and listen. and then contribute. That is what happened.
Yeah.
And I think what
Beautiful.
I took from the day, building on what you said, was there's a lot that is going on positive
Yeah.
in the Australian African communities, but globally, it mirrors what is going on globally. But there is
Mm.
also a lot of healing
A lot of
because of
healing.
his because of historic trauma. And one
Mm.
of the biggest challenges that we have is that we are not even aware of this trauma that is seated, that is deep
Mm-hmm.
within our community, within individuals. How can you heal others? How can you support others when you yourself are not healed? When you
Yeah.
Mm.
yourself
Yeah.
feel empty?
Mm.
And it was like a day where we were also refilling our own glasses, because if you keep pouring, your glass becomes empty. You
That's
need
right.
it to be refilled. And by the time I left, I thought my glass was overflowing.
That's
So,
very true. The vulnerability in the house was unreal. People
yeah,
were very real. And
Wow.
I like it when people are real. They were very real and raw and they just said it. But they like you said, Prof, the essence of it was the victory. All the women, they went through horrific
correct.
situations, but they are now standing and they are now teaching and
Mm.
empowering other. And I love, kudos
Yeah,
to
sharing
rooted.
their personal stories. And I think hopefully they've got something online and that some reports will come out of it, but the notebooks that people could, just reflect for themselves, because we really need these moments of reflection. We need this,
Yeah.
time for self-care. And
Yeah.
an example, for example, was one of the young women who deals with skin products. And
Mm.
that was because she was going through a lot, and she
Mm.
was in this seemingly perfect marriage and relationship. It looked that way, but everything was falling apart. And at one point, she literally had to drop everything and move out of Melbourne. I'm sharing because it was shared publicly,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? And when she moved out of Melbourne, one of the things she found was that every time she did her skincare, she felt good. Then she decided to build a business out of it. I
Very
just thought
young
that was
lady, by the way. Very young lady.
very
But like you
powerful.
said, a
Yeah,
woman who heals herself heals the world. So
correct.
Yes.
let's just say when you heal yourself, you heal the next person. You actually heal the nation. But anyway, that is it. We got a lot going on today. We got a lot.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Deborah Dinkinsons for a while.
Yes.
And I told you she's got a few bits going on, but she really wants to be here. And she's
Yeah.
already told us that once in a month she will be featuring. So she will be like that. Look forward to. Once in a,
Yes.
how have you been? How is the business? I know you're building your business, another business with your husband, and you want that baby to grow.
Yes. Yes, well, it's been good. It's been growth, right? It's growth personally. It's growth within our relationship. Because now there's a huge focus on the business, because it is the income. Like, so with my business and now the second business, because we're both no longer working for somebody else. We're building our own income, so it has all the emotions amongst it. But the beautiful thing about it is that because we are both self-aware of what we want to achieve and what we want to make sure that we hold on to, that those conversations that could be sort of a little bit untoward, because we are self-aware. We can openly talk about those things, whether
Beautiful.
and how they make us feel. So
Beautiful.
that has been great, and it's all about growth in every area of where we need to be.
I mean, to work directly with your husband is something. You have to be aware, and the love needs to be very tangible for you to be able to work together in that stage, because it's a different thing when you do merchandise. It's a different thing when you do service. It's a different thing when you do what you do, because service plus something plus some, it's a lot in your business. So
Mm.
gotta be very close to be able to do that because
Yes.
yeah, it's not today to talk about that. We got
Yeah.
another day. But anyway, last week we talked about giving gift and
Mm-hmm.
wanting it back. So behind the scene, I had a cup of tea with Deborah, and Deborah was sharing our own thoughts, which was interesting. And so today we thought we're going to give it a spin, cap it up, and let Deborah chip in her thought, and then we'll now go to today's topic. So we gave a gift, and you want to take it back, Deborah.
Yes. Actually, and after our discussion, I remembered that many years ago, I gifted a couple of paintings to an extended family friend. And I'm going to say probably 20, about 20 years later, she was moving back to New Zealand, and it's not that she didn't want the paintings anymore, but she didn't want them damaged in travel, and she wasn't sure where she was going to live at the time, so she actually gifted them back to me.
Wow.
Because, and she said to me, you bought these for me, and because I no longer can take them with me, I feel that you could give them back. And she understood the value of that, because there was the value of the friendship, and there was the value of the paintings. So I remembered that afterwards. But what that comes down to is, and I was re-listening to last week's Hout, and it is all of those things. It's individualized. It's individualized on the person receiving the gift as to whether it gets returned. And and Prof, I absolutely agree with you. When you give, you let go. This is my gift to you, and it's not about the beyond all of that, sort of taking it back, but it's individual. It's absolutely individual. And the other discussion was around, yes, you could approach to have that gift returned, but it is all about the approach. It really is all about the approach. It's all the reasons why and why not, but yeah, it's just so absolutely up to the individual, and how one feels about that. But it is kind of, you give it, you release it, and however things turn out beyond that point, it's still something that was gifted at the time with the right love and intention, and that's the moment you have to hang on to. Not the moment.
I agree with you there. And the reason I agree was because she was moving, she loved it, she doesn't want to damage it, and maybe she doesn't have space technically for it as well. And what does she do? She identified the person that gave this because it was given with love, right? And you did not ask for it. She felt it was the right thing to do. So I think that is the right thing that she did. On the other hand, if she, for example, because she was afraid that they'll be damaged and that she may or may not have had space in the new space to maybe display them the way she wanted to maybe display the paintings, depending on the size of the painting. And then she said, okay, I'm going to go and give it to a charity shop, or just give it somewhere, right? And then you turn around and say, no, I'm happy to have them if you cannot take them with you because they've got so much sentimental or personal value or monetary value, however. Again, that will be within your rights. And I think that would be the right thing to do as well. But regardless, I think she did the right thing.
Yeah, and it was lovely.
People remember, when you give, you let go. If you're not going to let go, don't give.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna, after we had the conversation also, I thought, I know a couple of my Aussie friends, that will return those things to you. They will ask you if you wanted it. If their parents passed on, I know some of them will like, Temi, you guys, you're African. My mom is like you. She loves all this, but where was it? We won't know what to do with this. They will return it. So should I say then that people should really, how do I say it? Maybe the people you gifted, they really appreciated that thing, but the people that are the recipient or the benevolent of it, they might not respect that thing. So if you're not going to respect that thing, like if I inherit something and my kids don't respect it, they just throw it in the bin, something that you gave me, for example, either of you, I think they should, it's an honorable thing to return it back to you, because you don't throw it away, don't trash it. I think that's why you might be thinking, instead of you thinking of the loss, somebody that you lost, you're thinking of the gift. I don't think it's a good thing either way, but respect it. If you don't respect it, give it back to the person, and you as a person that you give and let go. So even if it doesn't come back to you, it's all good.
Yeah, and I just want to add to on that. In that scenario, we're kind of assuming that the children or whoever ends up with the gift knows the original story as to how that person received it.
Good one.
Yeah,
good one. That's true.
I don't think most people do, and that is why it is really important for you who has the gift to make your decisions when your mind is sound. It's really, there is nothing wrong when you are 50 to have certain discussions with your family, or when you're 40, or when you're 60. But most people pretend and they think they'll live forever. And you don't have to be sick to make certain decisions. It is just common sense. It is just the right thing to do, to make certain decisions, to have normalize it. Normalize those conversations with your family, with your children, with whoever, your close relatives, your close friends. I think most of you know is a lot of my wishes.
We know. We all know your wishes.
My children know. I love jewelry. I love value certain things. They know everything about what, and it's like, yep, you own this. They're young, but at least they know, right? Then there will be never any fighting. And the best gift to your family is what they will make for themselves, not what they will get from you. How many of us inherited things from our fathers or our mothers or whatever? What was here? Exactly. So we need to also just try to build and inculcate in people. You need to be able to make it for you rather than hoping to receive gifts. But you who gives, please let go. When you receive with gratitude as well.
And honor. But good point, actually, Deborah. Good point, because if you don't know the conversation that went behind surrounding this gift, because there's a whole lot of things that we discuss, and our kids or whoever our people to inherit our thing, they don't know what the actual conversation we had.
Yes.
Wow, that's a good one. But anyway, we have limited time for today's topic, but it's actually another essential topic. It's asking real friends, they could show up in a different way, but their friendship doesn't mean supporting your business. Does friendship and business the same? But the background around this, let me be very clear, is the business that you're in is something that is essential, is something that person will use on, like it's not cosmetics, because then different type of cosmetics. Let's say, for example, we're talking about food, milk and bread and stuff like that. And the bread, you have different type of bread. You have wholemeal, you have grain, you have whatever. So it's something that everybody, staple food that everybody will buy, for example. And you have a very dear friend. Oh, just use me for example. I've got the shop now, retail shop, and I know Deborah will come there and say, I'm going to get that chili. I'm going to get that. So, and of course, Prof comes every time and buy stuff and say, I want this for Mikey, I want this for my husband, I want this for somebody. But you have a friend that is close to you and she's never patronized you one day, but they eat this food that I sell, and they say they're a friend, and they've never come to me. By the way, let me paint another background. It's not that they're far away, because fair enough, if they're far away, like, they might not be able to do it. But today I was talking to Deborah. I posted something to Pet today. I posted something to Canberra today. They ordered online. I have friends in Pet that will say, send me snail, send me this. They even buy plantain, and say post it anyway. So I don't know how far is far, but I'm just trying to say you can be reasonable as well. So if they're far away from you and they don't want to pay for postage, or they can't be bothered, maybe, but they're not far. They're very close and they've never been to your shop. Are they friends? Do you have to judge them for that? Or fair enough? And this is a genuine question and out of curiosity, because we don't want to just judge people and assume it's unfair. So we need to share this and just get wisdom from people. Essence of.
I think that is so powerful. Debbie, you want me to answer or you want to go first? I know it.
I'm still pondering on that question. Okay. So you go, Prof. You go.
Let me go first. It's really interesting you say that. And why do I say it's interesting? I think patronizing and supporting your friends' businesses. She wears La Guapa. She talks about La Guapa more than me, right? Which is a type of a passion of love of mine. And anybody who knows they have a business, sometimes I'll buy something, it will stay in my cupboard for 1 or 2 years. I don't know. But I make sure I support, because one of the things that I have found, and the evidence, the research shows, I'm an academic, so I'm going to always pull evidence, right? When you look at the money that circulates within the Jewish community, when they earn income, it stays within their community for months. It circulates from one business, from one service to the other. When you look at the Chinese community, I don't have the data with me, but the research is out there. The money circulates within that community for weeks. The Jewish community has got the longest longevity of how long the money circulates within their community. The same $50 or the same $1,000.
Yeah.
Then followed, you've got the Chinese communities, then you have the Indian communities. Within the Black community, and I'm talking about the Black diaspora, because if you are living in the country, that's different. But within the Black diaspora community, you'll be lucky if it's there within hours. Really? Right? Because they shop from different, yes. First, lots of them are not business owners.
True.
By structural exclusion.
Very true. Yeah.
Right? Hence, they have to pay for services elsewhere.
Right.
On the other hand, those services that are there, they don't patronize them. They feel and they think it is better to patronize services from other communities. I think it's a good thing. But how do we build each other if we cannot value what we have within us? So in that context, I think it is absolutely important that we patronize businesses, especially women businesses, especially young people, male and female alike. Is so important. And then within that context as well, when people patronize you, you should also not just only patronize them, because it's not a give and take, but really just think about what it means to patronize other people within your community. It is really good. It's just forget about, you don't need to be rich. You don't need to be wealthy, because there's a difference between wealth and rich, right? You don't need to be wealthy to be able to do that. People are ordering from Perth. Why are they ordering from Perth? Because they value what you are doing. People, I have seen some communities, they'll pass 4 or 5 petrol stations to go to a particular petrol station because somebody from their community owns that. That's do true. That. They will travel. I am in the university and I'm in these spaces. I see it, I hear it. So it's absolutely essential. If you are not patronizing your friends, please get up, ask me, do it. What I am wearing before I got La Guapa designed by myself. However, it is sewn by an African woman here in Melbourne. She started making clothes, that particular woman, for me, probably around 2013 when she was still studying. She still makes clothes for me today. Not my, she doesn't do for my business, but things that I still wear as we speak. She's got fabric that I gave her months ago because I'll just take lots of fabrics of mine to her. She started in her garage. I was a university academic in America. They will call professor from the day you step in the university and teaching. And I used to go there, not because I could not go and pay in other places, but because I knew it was important to build her. Today, she runs a service in Sunshine where she gets government grants, and she's been teaching people for at least the last 7 years, and I still support them. So it's really, we must make sure that we support, we must make sure that we build others. We must make sure that we plant those seeds. Saturday was all about that as well. Pastor Mrs. Temi, building each other.
Yeah.
Yes. So what, and those stats are really, really interesting, Professor. I mean, like how the national, just how long they stay within the community and within their own communities. And actually, when you talked about that, the first thing that came up for me about that was, if I think about the Jewish community, it's about survival. So that by supporting survival of their own community, so keep it within. Let's support each other, lift each other up. Same with the. I feel it's a little bit different with the Asian community, especially with what I experience here. I kind of want to say it relates to communication as well. It's easier to communicate with themselves than go outside the community. And then when you talked about the African community, something that just popped into my mind was it's the experience of buying other things potentially. But what it kind of boils down for me is I like to support, and I will buy like the first product, and it's to support that individual that's starting a business or something like that. And then there are moments where I'll go and buy something, and then I'll go, oh, I should have gone to Temi. It's like it's a habit to go to my normal.
So you are aware.
Yeah. And then afterwards I think, oh, I should have gone to Temi because she would have actually helped me with this purchase type thing. So it's and your question is, are they friends? Are they friends? And the first thing that came up with this around this question was customers can become friends, and friends. The other thing I want to say that comes up for me is that potentially there's judgment and there's jealousy as to why a person may not.
Wow.
And should I? Because it's sorry, and I want to premise that with because of the perception. So the perception might be, well, you already have enough. You have more than enough. So I'm just going to keep buying where I buy from. I bring that, like I say, for me, a lot comes up through the emotions it generates. So again, I've got to say it comes back to the individual's perception. But I also want to say we should be supporting each other. We should be supporting women's businesses, especially. I mean, look, we started off this conversation with about how when women heal, the world heals.
That's right.
right? And if we and the more we support each other, women's businesses, young businesses, the more we help them, we help each other to grow, to become self-aware of our amazing qualities, and therefore we heal. They heal, and we heal the world. So again, it's perception, and it's kind of a little bit tied into last week's topic. It's about do it with love.
Do it with love.
Absolutely. And just being mindful of our time. You talked about support.
I
I
love
think the
it.
key thing is about support, Deb. That is the key thing. Supporting each other, growing with each other. Why do you feel envious if the other person grows? Right? And we also have to be aware. I think an empowered person will not just lift themselves. And I have this belief that if you're a leader or you're empowered and you don't empower others and you don't create other leaders, you have not succeeded. Maybe it's just my line of work where I spend my days building people, to get out there and run multi-million-dollar services. You sit in a classroom and somebody say, oh, I'm managing 5 or 7, God knows, businesses. I'm running this pharmaceutical company in China because you taught them this or that. For me, that's fabulous, etc., etc. So I just want to say, if you're feeling intimidated because that other woman is going to be better because you patronize her, is what you should remember is that if you were to start something, you will start questioning why you are not succeeding because you've not been supporting others. You get lifted even more when you lift others. And it doesn't only have to be in business. Most of us don't have businesses, but we do other things. Just having those meaningful conversations. Last but not least, when you go to people that you've been going to for 10, 15 years, we're talking about my dry cleaner earlier today, and there was something, and I'm like, I've been using the same person for the last 18 years.
Yeah, you said it.
Personal service. That person is not of African background, it's Anglo-Australian. But I have got a type of an attitude where when somebody provides a good service, I commit to that service. It doesn't matter who they are. And when you do that, it becomes very personal as well.
Yes.
You know, what I want to quickly comment on is that, Deborah, you were saying that maybe they think somebody is going to grow. What if the person is already grown? It's, this business is not making the person is already grown. It's just the love that we have that we just make to patron. We were at Mimi's house. We did a pot. We were supporting a young woman that is selling pot. One night we bought $12,000 worth of pot. And we don't need pot. You don't start buying pot at my age.
No, I needed what I bought. Let me take that back. I needed what I bought.
I needed only one thing, but I just want to support this lady, right?
Yes.
Because she's doing it with her mother. They are top executive girls, like executive. The mother is
she's an engineer. The mom is an engineer.
She's an engineer. The mother is a doctor. The father is a doctor, but they have passion and they are building this. So that's what I'm saying. These people are already built. It's not this pot. How much profit do you think they're going to make from the pot? Anyway, but we bought $12,000. The type of
business. We had a fabulous dinner, didn't we?
We did. And that is the essence of life. I say that to say, when you have a retail store, you're making maximum $5, $10. That's what you're making maximum. So whatever you buy from that retail, it's not going to make this person. God already made this person. That's just in fact, that's not the stream that she's drinking.
Passion.
And it's just a passion. God knows that.
Yes.
So it's like saying La Guapa is what Professor Mimi is using. that she's going first class, going to all over the world. How much that guapa is she going to sell? This is just a passion that you just support one another. And one thing I'm thinking, truthfully, I mean, I don't know how to hide my feelings. You want me to come and hang out with you and drink a cup of tea with you, assuming that retail store is where I'm getting the $10 for a cup of tea. You didn't think I want to come and drink with you? No. Your mindset is not in that money, in that business. You're jealous of it, you're not contributing. Why am I wasting my time instead of selling my Gary in my shop? I'll come and have a cup of tea with you like a friend. So you don't, I think when you have somebody, I'm beginning to sense it now when I say, when you have a friend that is jealous. Professor Mimi was saying people in our class, the multi-million-dollar businesses in China, and so she can't be jealous of $10. So when you're thinking of little petty small thing and think that's going to be your friend, and then she's going to be rich. I don't know how many people is got retail store and they are.
If your friend is rich and becomes a millionaire, you become the next.
I mean, let us rub each other. We're not Costco, we're just little stuff. So if you're thinking like that, you must be thinking so little. But I would rather go to,
and that's it. Yes,
are liberated, people that are free, people that are not holding on to life, knowing that this whole life doesn't belong to us, right? I was gonna use ephemera. It's like a vapor, this life. So holding on to it and think, I don't want Deborah to be successful. Deborah is already successful. Deborah's husband said, Deborah was talking about budget and everything. She's just calculating, but it's not that she's already big. The husband said, I've got enough money from corporate. I've done corporate all my life. Now I want to bless people and I want to. So they're inputting their money to bless people. If you think Deborah is getting money from the business she's doing now, you are a fool because you don't know who she is and you're thinking little. God is already blessed her. Now herself and the husband, they're doing things out of, success, out of their, what did I call it? When you're free, you're already successful in their life. And so they're living a life of purpose. And I want to hang around those people, not people thinking $1, $2, no. But I'm going to be courageous if I see my friend personally that are eating Gary and I have not seen you in 2 years, I'm going to be calling you out and say, excuse me, do you eat Gary or not? Let's be clear about this. Where are you getting your Gary?
First time, Mrs. Temi, you use the word Gary, and I'm going to say something which I told you before.
I like to call it Gary. Okay, I love Gary a lot. Don't worry.
I said to her, she uses this, but there are two types of Garys. There is Gary, and there is Gary, right? So
I love it.
She discusses this. I just think you're so passionate about what you're doing. But at the same time, I think successful people should, in one way or the other, give back. The more you give, and you must not always give because you mustn't give because you want anything back. And I think sometimes I've fallen in this trap where people think I'm doing something because I expect something back. No, I don't. I absolutely, for people who know me like you for 20 years, and I have friends, I've got a birthday coming up, 35. It sits there, and you 35,
35 and 16th.
But then I was communicating with a high school friend that I have not seen for over 20 years, no, over 25 years in person. I kid you not. She lives wherever, but when we connect, which is sometimes every week or every second week, she lives in Canada, I live here. These are my childhood friends. I'm still friends with them.
Of course.
Yes. And I trust these people. I trust people like you. Why? Because they knew me when I was just this person. There are others, and they will tell you I run away because they want titles. Those are the friends that I don't call them friends. They think they are friends with them. I don't want those people.
Yeah, we need to define.
I like authenticity.
Yeah. We need to be defining our friendship. But anyway, I will always hang out with my friends. And by the way, please don't be jealous. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
If I look at people on this platform, it's not the businesses that is sustaining them, it's God. And there's
Yeah.
a secret, which is love for people and support. Because when you give, multiple go back to you. But we're not going to dwell on that. Well, I'm going to be calling you out seriously as a friend, because I don't want to harbor something. I don't want to think but one person just actually caught my attention from the shop. One of the girls from the shop said, Mama, I've never seen this your friend in my shop. I'm like, oh wow, it's true. I never thought about it. But the girls in the shop actually know what a friend is she. I'm like, wow. So it's true. This happened to
That's
me and it's a
interesting.
true life story. So we're going to be calling you out. Let us just call it what it is. And we don't need to be beating about the bush. It's an interesting topic. I reckon another day, another week, another powerful, powerful topic. I love it when the ladies share. Uh, Amazing. We're going to see you same time, same place next week. It's been awesome. I'm very grateful to have these powerful ladies in my life. Rich ladies, by the way. Rich ladies.
We nominate you.
I
Thank you.
love it. So bye bye for now.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.